Hey friends, we're going to make a card today. I have got a couple of, I've actually got a couple of products from Pink Fresh Studio. I've already made a couple of cards with these, and there's a couple of techniques that we can do, and I'll show you the ones that I have done, and I'll show you the one we're going to make today. This is a sympathy card, and it has some gold foiling and stenciling, and it's top folding card. And this one is stenciling, but there's no foiling. And we're going to do a ghost stamping technique with this one. This is the one that we're going to replicate today. And here's just another one that I did with gold foil. So the products that we're going to use today are the Pink Fresh Studio suite of products. And this one, I checked and it is still available. And I think I caught this in a bundle, but I didn't see a bundle. So you can get different products. If you don't want them all, you don't have to get them all. If you want to get them all, get them all. First, we'll start with the stamp set. And this is the stamp set. It's got a very large floral design here, and then some sentiments. And then we've got our stencils, and it comes with dies to cut out the large floral and dies to cut out the sentiment. And it also comes with a foil plate, and this also doubles as a press plate. So we are just going to do stamping and stenciling today. And then I just get these little envelopes from Amazon and keep them in everything together. If I got all the products that they offer with this stamp set design, which this one was called With Sympathy, if I get all of it, I'd keep them all together. And then I just keep the die packaging and the image so I can go by the colors. And just keep it all neatly in the envelope. And we'll need a black layering mat and two pieces of white cardstock, which I put one in the one that we stamp on and one in the inside. And then we're going to do another top folding. So you'll need a card base, which this is 110-pound Nina White, 8.5 by 11. It's cut in half and then scored. So that's that. So we'll get our white piece, and our mat is 4 by 5.25. So we need to cut this one down a little bit smaller, about 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I'm going to use my Gina K trimmer, and we're going to cut this one at, see, it's already at 5.5, and this one was 5. The black is 5.25, so we need to make this 5. And this one needs to be 3.25. And I try to go ahead and trim it first, so we can get our image where we need it to be, and we won't have to cut any of our image off. And I think I want to turn this camera around. Okay, I think that's better. Yes, I like this better. So we're going to get out our Misty, And like I said, we're going to do some ghost stamping. Put our white cardstock in the corner. This is our Misty, and I've got a acrylic or a photopolymer sticky mat in there to help hold my cardstock. So we're going to get out the big floral image in from our stamp set. And we're going to ghost stamp this. And what that means is we're going to stamp it really lightly with, I'm going to use Simon Says Stamp Fog. And we're going to stamp it really lightly. And the reason why we're going to stamp it really lightly is because we don't want it really dark. We just want guidelines to show us where we need to stencil. So we're going to ink this up real good. Well, it actually doesn't really have to be real good, but it helps to be able to see it a little bit. Okay, then we're just going to close our Misty. And then I have a air hockey puck that I got from Amazon that I use as a Chucky tool. Okay, let's look and see what it looks like. Doesn't look too bad. I think I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to leave our stamp in here. We're not going to take it out because we're going to stamp it in black after we get our stenciling done and make that image pop. So I'm going to use my Tidy Towel, which is from Gina K. I use everybody's products. I don't have a favorite yet. Maybe eventually I'll have a favorite. Okay, so we're going to take our Misty and put it aside. And at this point, I like to get my black, make sure that I cut correctly. Yep, looks like we did. So you can barely see that, but it's enough. It's definitely enough to where we're going to be able to stencil. So I've got another sticky mat. And I'm going to put my stamped image down and get out our stencils. There's 6 stencils and they're all labeled 1 through 6. And since we didn't stamp this, well, exactly which it was oriented up and down, and I cocked it to the right a little bit because I wanted to have room to put my sentiment up here. So we will line our stencil up the best we can. And we've got this larger flower here. And then we also have to check the smaller flower down here. That looks good. That looks good. And then I just press the stencil into my sticky mat. The colors we're going to use are Simon Says Stamp Sky and Dusk. Then we have Heather for the other flowers, Cantaloupe, and then for the leaves we're going to use Sprout and Fairway. And then of course we have black. So I'm going to get out my ink stand. Ugh. I dropped that behind my desk. It was an ink pad, which I'm going to have to retrieve. Anyway, so we've got blue and light purple and cantaloupe. These are the waffle flower stenciling brushes. And we'll start with the lighter shade, which is Sky. Okay, just ink up our, oh, I forgot to clean it off, which it's fine. Clean it off first with a paper towel. So we're going to go lightly, start off first since I forgot to clean it. Make sure it doesn't have a really dark blue on it. It has something on it. And then I'm going to make these little smaller flowers a little bit darker because they don't hardly have any detail. And then I'm going to make the center of this larger flower a little bit darker than the outer edge. Give it a little bit of interest. Okay. I'm going to hang on to our blue because we're going to use it on another stencil for the detail. Okay. I'm going to take stencil number 1 off. And that looks pretty good. Stencil number 2. I'll clean my stencils at the very end and I'll show you how to do it. Is the forgot about the pink. We'll do guava for the pink flowers. I hope everybody had good holidays and good weekend. I have to return to work tomorrow, which I've been off for a long time. I love my job, so, you know, it's kind of weird when somebody says they're excited to go back to work, but I do like it. I don't know about excited. I guess there's only so much housework you can do. You know, when you're home, there's always stuff to do when you're working at home, so it does get kind of boring. I guess I'm not at the retirement age yet because I'm ready to go back to work. But yeah, we had good holidays and it's gotten cold. I think we're expecting some ice tonight. Hopefully it will pass by us. And then we're watching a storm for next weekend that's going to post dump some snow, which I love snow. I'm excited about the snow. All right, let's do our guava flowers. Simon Says Stamp Guava. And we're going to just lightly go stencil in our stencil, shade it, go left, go right, and I think that's good. We're through with the pink. So we'll get rid of our brush. And we're ready for stencil number 3. And it is the peachy flowers. So you line up your larger flower first. This is how I do it. And then check all my smaller flowers. Looks good. Press it down. And cantaloupe is our color. Ink up our brush. Left, right, left, right. Okay, we're through with our peach shader brush. And ready for stencil number 4, which is the greenery. Sorry, I was looking at my card. It's going by. It kind of looked like that flower was off a little bit, but it's not. It's okay. All right, that looks good. Well, let's try moving that one down a little bit. Try right there. Smooth everything down. We're going to do the light shade of green, which is Sprout. Another thing I wanted to talk about was these ink colors. Now this one looks pretty close. The label doesn't really show the correct shade, but this one's close. It is very bright, but it's not as bright. So I suggest doing color swatches so you know. Like this one's pretty close. You know, it's a green. Like just trying to think. I had another color that's pink, and it looks pink, but it's not pink. It's kind of like a peach. So you have to just test your colors and make sure it's the right color that you want. Okay, so now we're going to do the light shade of the leaves and the stems. And go right and go left. Okay, go hang on to our green. Oh, I know what we did. I had chosen heather for one of these flowers and I didn't use it. I used the pink instead, which this looks really good. I know, change your mind. Okay, and then this is the details of the blue flower. And this one is kind of hard to see. So you want to match up the little flower first. Okay, that looks good. So I matched up the center flower of the big flower and then the little flowers. That helped me get it where it needed to be. Okay, and we're going to use Dusk. Swirl it left, swirl it right. Okay. And I haven't been cleaning my brushes. I should do this for the green one, just in case y'all decide to do it this way. You should get in the habit of doing it either before cleaning your brush, after you use them, or before you use them. So what I do is take the color that I'm going to use, get a paper towel, and just get some of the color off of it before I use it on a paper towel. Okay, last stencil. And this is the leaf details. And that looks good right there. And we're going to use Fairway. It doesn't really matter. It goes in there both ways, so. Left, right. Okay. So this is our image. Put this back on before I stick my fingers in it. I'm good at sticking fingers in ink. And there's our image. It's kind of, you know, blah, doesn't have any details, but we're fixing to fix that. Okay, so put our ink stand back up. I've got a little recycled bottle with rubbing alcohol in, and I take my mat, spray it with the alcohol to clean all the excess ink off. And that's exactly how I clean my stencils. Just spray it with rubbing alcohol. Wipe the front, wipe the back, and they dry really easy, so you'll be able to get them put back up. Real easy cleanup. Make sure I didn't have any on my hand because I touched it in a weird way. Okay. And I try to keep these in the right order because, you know, you take them out and they're not in the right order, you might be tempted to use them in the wrong order. So and then I just put them back in its little envelope that it goes in. Okay. So we need to, at this point, pick out our sentiments. And I had used 3 different ones. So I'm going to try to use a different sentiment. I like this one. See if it fits. I think it does. And then an inside. Let's do sending hugs your way. We'll take those. Now, get our Misty back out that still has our stamp there. And then we're going to take, I like a really black, crisp ink. So I'm going to use this VersaFine black onyx. And we're going to ink our stamp up really good. And use our Chucky. Check it, make sure it looks like we want it, and it sure does. Isn't that nice? I love that. I love that a lot. It's really pretty. I love this. It's sad because you I love the stamp set. It's a sympathy stamp set. And, you know, we all need sympathy cards. And that's a really good one. There's lots of techniques that you can do with this stamp bundle. Okay, so now we're going to put our stamped image back in. The VersaFine black onyx ink takes a while to dry, so you want to be real careful and not smudge it. So that's why I was trying to seal this down without touching it. I need to clean this mat. That's why it's not sticking too good. So we can use this magnet to hold that down, because we may have to stamp this again. But it's okay, because we've got it all down in the corner, and it's a whole lot easier to line back up. Okay, so we're going to get our stamp set lined up, but I'm not really 100% sure that I like the placement of it. So I've got another technique that I learned from Kathy Zielski. And what she does is she takes a piece of acetate. So here's my scrap piece of acetate. And she puts it on top of her stamped image. She stamps her stamp, and she stamps on top of her acetate sheet to make sure she likes that placement. And it looks pretty good to me. So we're ready to stamp. Okay, so we're going to ink up our stamp again. Use our Chucky tool. And there it is. Looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So we won't stamp that one again. And then we'll do our inside. Okay. Now this inside, I didn't cut it down, so we'll cut it down right quick. It just needs to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. So we're going to do 5 1/4 by 4. And it's for the inside of our card. It's just a habit. I like to do inside liners. It just makes the card what I call a little bit more meatier, like thicker, more sturdier. See, that's our card base. I don't know what I did. There it is, with our insert. Okay. And these you can either put in the very middle, and they're pretty good about getting them centered, but I like to put them down in the corner. They're a little bit easier to get straight, and then that allows you to put your message, and I don't know where that came from, but it's okay, you won't see it. It allows us to put our message up here. Okay, so let's find our black ink. Now what I found with these small one line sentiments is not to use the Chucky tool on them. Just lightly stamp, because if you press them, it pushes the stamp outwards and distorts your stamped image. Okay, so there's our inside. And we'll clean our stamp off, give that a chance to dry, and we'll put our card together. So if you like my video, or if you don't like my video, either one, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. If you would please like and subscribe, I would love it. That would make me very happy. Okay, so I'm going to put my stamp set back into my envelope. Put our Misty up out of the way. And take our stamped image. See if our glue dried up. I forgot to switch out the lids, but it's all right. It's happened before. We know what to do. Just stick a pin in it. And it did. So I'm just going to stick a straight pin in there. Plus I think my ink is about, or my glue is about empty. Which I have a backup. My other adhesive that I like to use is this double-sided tape runner from scrapbook.com. I like the way it fits in my hand, and you can just go real slow and get you a nice bead of double-sided tape. I like to use the glue because it gives you more wiggle time. So when you use this tape, it definitely sticks. When you use the tape, you have to be really good about getting your image, your layers where you want them. Okay, so I'm not really sure what happened with the sound. I guess my microphone died. So here I am just putting my panels together, my black card panel to my stamped image panel, and I am putting the two panels that I just adhered together on my card base with tape runner. Yeah, I'm still learning all this video taping, editing, and it's a lot of work. So again, like and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. And eventually, you'll see me get better at this. Okay, so I am putting my card together, and it's all finished. I'm going to stamp the back with my personal stamp that I got from Simply Stamps. And I think I'm just going to end the video right here. Let me let y'all see my custom stamp. I had dropped it in the floor. I'm putting it together, stamping it on a scrap sheet of paper off camera, or right there on my sheet, and there it is. So yeah, I will hopefully do a much better job on my video next time, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.